My top 10, just keep in mind, I haven't had the time to see other 2010 movies like Complete Unknown, Scarlet, Light of the World, Little Emily of the Character of Rain. I've yet to see those.
Yeah,
But
Scarlet. If you're talking about the anime movie Scarlet, that doesn't count as a 2025 movie, since it's not releasing. Oh wait, unless it came out in theaters by you.
Why is
Did
the director
Yeah.
obsessed with pink-haired women? Why is the
the same reason
Yeah.
Tarantino is obsessed with feet.
women
I
in
guess.
particular?
we all got our perks.
I'm not Scarlet.
Hey, don't knock the guy for having a fetish.
Sexy ladies!
Go on, Cal.
Right, okay. Quick honorable mentions. Nicolas Cage is the Surfer, Zootopia 2, 28 Years Later, Last Breath. Okay, so top
Yeah, I
10...
thought 28 Years Later was a 2026 film.
was
Oh, yeah!
the bone, you're thinking of the Bone Temple, right, yeah. Yeah.
I've been 28 years.
Yeah, 28 Years Later came out in 2025. It's an honorable mention. It actually made me cry, just say. Now, top 10 movies for me for 2025. Number 10, The Bad Guys 2. Really fun movie and some spectacular animation, especially the scene where the characters have this Lupin the Third style. Well, I mean, it's all Lupin the Third, really, but this very Lupin the Third
A
style.
little bit of James Bond, of course.
Yeah, a little bit of Bond, yeah. There's this really spectacular...
Admittedly, Lupin has a bit of
I didn't-
Bond in him. But
Yeah, true.
The first one, and I intended to watch the first one, but then I didn't get around to it, so I just...
Alright, they're fun movies. There's this one spectacular scene where all the characters are running up a rocket. I mean, yeah, it's pretty goofy and over the top, but the visual aesthetics just makes it such a spectacle to see, especially on the big screen. And there's this really intense scene involving characters trying to prevent something from being uploaded onto the internet. It was pretty intense. Number 9, it's a tie between two horror movies. Good Boy and... Yeah, the one with the dog, yep. Good Boy and Weapons. I thought these were rather excellent horror movies. Good Boy is a very unique indie horror movie told entirely from the perspective of a dog. And whilst people can point out a few plot holes here and there, there's so much emotional resonance and from this dog who is a way better actor than most people in Hollywood these days.
I know.
Yeah. That's pretty telling. And Weapons was quite an intriguing mystery kind of horror movie. In fact, I've rarely seen movies that tell stories from different characters' perspective. The only other movie that I can think of that did that would have been Hoodwinked, or another movie which I'll mention later on. Number 8, King of Kings. The beginning of the movie was a bit kiddish, I'm not gonna lie, but the rest of it was pretty fascinating. This animated depiction of, like, the gospel story, we all know it, but this time it's told from the perspective of Charles Dickens, the author of Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist.
I think
And
that was 2024.
that was 2025. He's telling the story to his son, and it's really interesting to see it.
Also, Uma Thurman was in that.
Yeah, Uma Thurman was in it. Yeah, as well as Oscar Isaacs and Mark Hamill. So I'm surprising amount of celebrities.
Yeah, the fact that it's like it was produced by the same studio that did the controversial Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
But
so
Angel Studios. Oh my
yeah.
God,
That's
Why
it.
is that
Love the
so
hate.
controversial? Why?
because they're it's very hard for me to explain, but you might have to look into the
Moving on.
controversies.
So
Yeah,
basically, this depiction of the gospel is pretty fascinating in the fact that it's told through the perspective of a child's imaginative perspective. So it makes for a lot of creative imagery, especially this one powerful sequence during the whole crucifixion setup. So moving on. Number 7. It's Golden Time, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah, it's safe to say...
Still has not gotten $1 billion. That's still not gotten $1 billion.
He's referring to the golden music video. Brooks was expecting the golden music video to reach 1 billion by the end of 2025, and it didn't. It will. Just not as soon as he'd hoped.
950 so far.
Yeah.
It's 950.
Maybe good, but it's not quite Gundam style.
The plot is very familiar.
It's probably
Yeah.
the only good song that I've ever listened to this year, like that came out this year.
I need to actually sit down and watch K-pop Hunters. Like, I listened. But it is.
Alright, so anyway, yeah, we all know about this. This was the 2025 movie. It swept the world by storm, even though it's never got an official DVD release of any kind. It was re-released in cinemas again and again, and there were more people packing in to see it in the cinemas than for the majority of other movies at the time. And I kid you not, around about Halloween time, I saw a little girl dress up as Mira. I kid you not. It's become that much of a sensation.
Yeah, look, if Netflix doesn't give that movie a DVD release, then what are they doing?
Yeah!
They gave him permission
Aside from trying to buy Warner Brothers.
another Sony animation movie. So why
Yeah,
not
yeah.
give-
Same people
Yeah,
made
they-
the Spider-Verse
collector's
movies,
edition.
as well as the upcoming Goat movie. The animation is very much on creative display, and I really admire even the whole messaging about learning how to overcome shame and to open up. Now, the film does have its narrative problems in the fact that there's a few narrative beats that remain a bit unresolved, but there's an upcoming short film that's a prequel, which, well, yeah, he'll be back in Wi-Fi problems. There's a few narrative beats that are left kind of either rushed or kind of unresolved, and there's a few other narrative beats that seem kind of shoved in at the last moment, kind of because it kind of was. It was originally intended to be much darker, but then they thought, no, wait, we need to make it more appealing to the kids, so they had to drastically change it. So there's somewhat of a conflict of visions, but the overall heart of it, it's absolutely brilliant. And come on, the songs are catchy. They're undeniably catchy. Yeah. I cannot even tell you the amount of times I've heard Golden on the radio. So many times. Yeah. Number 6 pick is a tie between F1 and Naked Gun. The other two just such brilliantly fun movies. F1 was just the summer movie, made by the same man who brought us Top Gun Maverick, so he seems like the kind of director who knows what he's doing. And yeah, realistically, Brad Pitt would be far too old to take part in Formula 1 races, but it's still a lot of fun to see him partner up with the other characters, and overall, they're just great racing stakes if you enjoy that kind of thing. And Naked Gun, I'm so glad that a friend of mine's introduced me to the other Naked Gun movies this past year, because this movie was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I don't think I'll even spoil some of the joke. I think it's pretty telling that there's an opening bank heist scene and the bad guys steal a plot device that's literally called Plot Device.
It should be called MacGuffin.
Yeah! The Lego Batman movie made that joke. This is MacGuffin Airlines. I love that kind of self-referential humor.
All I got from it was that Liam Neeson has no shame.
Liam Neeson, incidentally, is a malapropism of Leslie Nielsen, who played,
Yeah. The casting choice was very on purpose. It's so fitting. Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson, both of them.
I think he could pull it off, but he impressed me, I gotta say.
Yeah. And that both of them played like serious roles before taking on comedic roles. It was just perfect in that regard.
Yeah.
Color me surprised.
Yeah.
And they're both not American. They pull off American accents pretty well. Leslie Nielsen was Canadian. Liam Neeson.
Oh, right. Of course, that's right.
Irish.
Fantastic. I am serious and don't call me Shirley. Okay, my top 5. My number 5 pick would be Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. I still remember going to see that movie and just seeing a whole line of people in like Demon Slayer costumes going to the same screening as I was. Yeah, it was quite the spectacle to see.
It's fan base when they go cosplay to a movie.
Yeah. The same thing happened with Dragon Ball Z Broly. Except not with costumes, but with Dragon Ball clothing. It was amazing. But anyway, the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 movie, it was such a spectacle to see. I mean, you'd have to catch up with certain plot beats of Demon Slayer to even understand what's going on. But you get the basic premise, you get the idea. This is it. This is the final battle. The heroes have managed to find a way to get to the villains' hideout, and they're having to duke it out with all they've got against all these different villains of this different hierarchy of demons, and they're pushing themselves to the limit. And of course, being the shonen that it is, there's so many flashbacks and lots of overt mentions to the powers and abilities that they're using and whatnot.
There's nothing like an anime movie of a series on the big screen. There's really nothing like it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's something about seeing something like on the big screen that's deeply cinematic, like nothing else. It's pretty intense. The stakes are high. The characters are growing on screen. We get some tragic backstories to some of these demonic characters, including a familiar face from the Mugen Train movie. And this movie's taken the world by storm in regards to box office numbers. And this is just part 1. We've still got to anticipate 2 more parts, gentlemen.
So it's not exactly the final battle, then, is it?
It's part 1 of the final battle. However you define final battle. My number 4 pick would be it's the movie where after watching I said that was brilliant. That movie was Guillermo del Toro's adaptation of Frankenstein that you can find on Netflix or in select theaters if you had the chance to see it. Frankenstein, it's Del Toro took innovative yet surprisingly simple approach of just adapting the source material beat for beat, not holding back on the metaphysical implications of the source material, and the film is all the more brilliant for it. And you've got all these actors giving it their all. You've got Oscar Isaac, you've got Charles Dance, you've got all these brilliant characters, amazing practical effects and set designs. And for you Amadeus fans, the story is told in a similar kind of non-linear format. And I probably would have liked a bit more of a resolution, and there's one romance that's a tad bit odd, but it's one of those things where it's more of a nitpick in hindsight. It's an otherwise excellent movie. Number 3, none of you guys would have probably heard of this, but my number 3 pick would be a film called I Swear. None of you heard of that, have you? No.
I swear.
I swear. That's literally what the movie's called.
Yeah, that's literally what the movie's called. I thought none of you would have heard of it, but basically it's a movie that's set in Scotland, and it's centered on a man who is suffering from Tourette's syndrome and all the trials and tribulations that come with it. And this is a true story, but based on a true story, we see him struggling through the 80s, how it was completely misunderstood back then. He keeps doing these really embarrassing things like saying swear words just out of the blue, kind of doing these hand signals or kind of twitching and things like that. And over time, he meets more and more people that help him to open up. And over time, he finds the means and facilities to raise awareness about Tourette's syndrome. And it's an absolutely brilliant film. And what makes it brilliant as a movie is that it's simultaneously insightful, heartbreaking, and absolutely hilarious all at once, just due to the shenanigans of his Tourette's syndrome. They even kind of laugh about it. Like there's like for example, there's a scene where he's getting an interview for a job, and the man's told in advance, okay, he has Tourette's syndrome, so he's gonna do these unusual stuff. Okay, I understand. All right. Okay, so he's doing all these unusual stuff. Okay, now here comes the best part of the job. Bam sex. He's just saying all kinds of stuff like that, and then or it's just some another scene.
He thought he was ready, but he really wasn't.
Yeah. He makes a good commentary and he impresses him. There's another scene where he's in court. It's a long story, but this is gonna make you guys laugh. So basically, he's giving the testimony, and then the guy's like trying to say his part, and then just out of the blue he says, "No. Are you spunk for milk?" And then the old man just looks at him and goes, "Spunk for milk." It's so funny.
Yeah. Wait, hold on a second. Since we're not like no British, do you mind explaining to us what spunk is?
Semen.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of hilarious shenanigans that revolve around how stuff like that just keeps blurting out of nowhere. And it's not his fault, he can't help it, it just keeps happening, but he finds ways to bring awareness to it, and it's absolutely brilliant for it. And Brooks is back. Hello. That's alright.
By the way, Tyler, I like your Boba Fett shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Good taste, good taste. Just mentioned my number 3, Brooks. It was, I swear, brilliant movie. You should go check it out. My number 2 pick is this, absolute cinema experience called Warfare.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. Martin Scorsese.
It's not that a lot of movies released this year were bad. They just weren't for me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Whereas past years, it was very easy for me to find a movie that was for me.
Yeah. So
this year a lot of movies they didn't have the hook that got your attention.
I'm wondering if there's going to be any fantastic films for streaming. Like, oh god, like
there's something to think about.
I hope what would there be any magic to streaming with films or movies or TVs anymore?
That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, with Warfare,
or are we really heading into dystopia where culture is manufactured?
Let's prevent that from happening. So Warfare is a film worth seeing in the cinema, especially on the big screen, due to the sound effects and the immersion of being there and the sheer rough grittiness of the war back in the Iraq war era. It doesn't hold anything back, and just the surround sound of the cinema, like boom, it can really catch you off guard at times. It's really immersive stuff. I mean, there's not really much to say about it on a thematic basis. It's just the sheer experience that they were brilliantly able to capture. It's absolutely amazing. I would have liked a bit more of a resolution to the movie in regards to the sheer impact, impacting the soldiers going home or stuff like that. I would have liked to have seen that, but at least the film does end off with showcasing the filmmakers collaborating with the actual soldiers to get the authentic experience. So that was nice. That was good. Now, my number 1 favorite is going to be a bit of an unorthodox kind of direction, but they still count as movies. They're two short movies. One of which is Snow Bear, made by Disney veteran animator Aaron Blaise, and The Old Knight Part 2, made by a DreamWorks animator who's just making this Old Knight series. They're both brilliantly simple premises, and they make the most of it with some absolutely stellar animation, and clear visual storytelling, and brilliant character ideas. Snow Bear and Old Knight Part 2 is just right up my alley. You should give them a watch, especially since they're short movies you can just find on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic. So there you go. Those are my top 10 favorites of 2025.